Kia ora. Today's topic is about fun, how to have fun with community engagement. I really have realized that that's a part of the work that I do that really is what I can bring to the community engagement space. It's how can we connect and how can we have fun while we are moving forward on big community ideas. I held an event recently, about 2 weeks ago. It was sponsored by IAP2, that stands for the International Association of Public Participation. They sponsored the event in order that I could bring other folks together who love the idea of engaging their communities in being able to make decisions and being able to lead community from the bottom up. And I hosted this event. It was only 2 hours, so I had a lot to squeeze in, and we had a lot of fun. So I started with a game that I call Picture This. It is a set of 75 cards. Get the box here. Here's what the box looks like. I ordered it at 75 cards, random photos. I had people pick 2 cards. One was what they're grateful for, a symbol of that, and then the other one was what are they aspiring to in the new year. So the purpose of this engagement was to get people connected really quickly on a deeper level. So what people are grateful for tells really something about their values, and what they're looking forward to might tell a little bit more into what they're professionally planning to do. And also just, again, aspirational is a great positive place to start. The next activity we had was called the spectrum. So this is a really great activity if you have a bunch of topics and people feel divided or positional. It's a way actually for people to find common ground on somewhere along the spectrum. So it works like this. You have a big space in a room, you need kind of a long space, and I gave 4 different topics that people could stand on the line. So one of them was around collective housing, because that's my particular interest. So the question was, have you ever lived in a collective housing situation? It could have been from when they were younger, as a child, and growing up as a youngster, or even now. So some people lived in at the one end of the spectrum, more conventional, more single family, not really connected, as some were in the middle because they had either lived in a digs kind of a situation as a college student. And then some people were at the other end. They were involved in an intentional community. One was the Takaka co-housing close to where I am. And of course, I was at that end because I'm in Riverside community. Another one was around food. Do you like to grow food, or are you actually involved in a whole food production initiative? We had some people who said, no, I don't like to grow food. I like to support local growers. I've got other stuff to do with my time. And other people at the other end where, yes, I'm with a bunch of other people. We love to grow food together. That's how we socialize. And I just love to eat fresh food that I can pick myself. So that was that activity. And then we had last one. The question was on transport. How often have you taken public transport? Was it 100 times in the year or not at all? So some people were at one end, and I said, oh, why have you not taken public transport this year? They said, well, I actually walk most places, and if I need to go somewhere farther, then I do take my car. People at the other end said, oh, well, I live just outside of town, and I've actually really enjoyed the bus service. It's really convenient, and so I've been taking it a lot more. And for myself, I put myself in the middle because I do live in a rural area, so quite often I do need to take my car. But I have found that we have an e-bus service that allows me to drive to the closest village and then get on the bus, which gives me an hour ride on the bus, but without any traffic or worries, and I can check my email while I'm driving. So that was really great to hear people's stories about why are they at different ends, what makes people different, and what makes people share things in common. And quite often people will find themselves at opposite ends at one point and together at another. So it really builds the sense of common ground, no matter what it is that you're working on in your community engagement project. And then the last activity that we had together was model building. And this actually can be done in a full day if you are looking at redesigning of a neighborhood space, a larger community area. I just wanted to do a model example of it. So I gave everybody there was a table full of all kinds of random things, from bits and pieces of toys to scraps of this and that. And I said, go ahead and take about 10 minutes, think about a wonderful childhood memory that you have in the place where you grew up. So some area that you grew that really resonated, gave you wonderful memories. So people grabbed all these random things, and in the front of them, they built these sort of representations of these memories. And then we had time to share these memories where everybody got a chance to see people's models and ask questions. What is this? And people telling stories of their childhood and what made that place special. And what I found was interesting was that 3 of us had cul-de-sac memories. So cul-de-sac is where the end of the street ends in like a parking lot, and all the houses are there sort of in a semicircle. And 3 of us had grown up in these cul-de-sacs where we remember running around between the houses. It's fairly safe because there's nowhere to drive through. And we remember all the kids just coming out into the street and playing on their bikes and running between the houses. And that was a childhood memory that we had of our neighborhood being a place that children were free to roam and safe and could go between the houses, so neighbors knew each other. And these kinds of stories really pull out what's important to people, their values, and also allow us to create our new communities or our community plans based on what people really find meaningful and important. And they're also really positive. If you have these activities that are fun and interesting, gets people moving around, you can't help but have positive results from something like that. It takes people out of polarized places and puts them into a place of wanting to have a positive future and see other people as wanting that same thing as well. So that's my report out on that. I did send that report out in a newsletter, and I also made it available on a document on Google Docs. So those who wanted to be able to share it or refer back to it, wanted to be able to have references for where I got this, these resources from, where I got this, these activity ideas. I do have that also as a Google Doc. So you can subscribe to my newsletter and be able to get future events or future postings like this, talking about what I've done and why it works and how to do it. Or you can ask me, email me at zola@commonground.net.nz, and I can give you the link. My goal is to have it all eventually on my website, but I can't always get to doing everything. So you can always just email me or text me, 027-449-0422. I'll be happy to get in touch with you and help you get connected to these great resources. Also, check out IAP2. We've got a symposium for New Zealand. It's coming up 20th to the 22nd of March in Christchurch. I'm actually on the working group, and we are actually looking forward to having a lot of fun at the symposium. And we're kind of doing some unconference style. Unconference means that you don't come and sit and listen to speakers rattle on. Actually, you get to pick the topics. You pick the program and the agenda, and then you go into these meeting spaces talking about what's really important to you and meeting other people who share that, either that same value or that same topic interest. So recommend checking out IAP2 Australasia for details about that symposium. And of course, check out commonground.net.nz to see all that we're doing there. Love to help you with your community engagement activities and bringing a sense of fun into whatever you're doing in your community. Kia ora.